Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at all of Post Malone's albums. Now, before we get into the video, I just wanted to say thank you for blowing up my last video, almost 10k views. That's pretty cool, even though not everybody agreed with me. I just still thank you, it really means a lot. And let's see if we can do the same with this video. But anyways, enough stalling, let's just get right into the video.
You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy.
Now, I'd say I'm a big Post Malone fan. I do like a lot of his music, and I think most of it's really good. But for some reason, I never sat down and listened to Stoney before. Obviously, I've listened to some songs like I Fall Apart, White Iverson, and Congratulations, but I never listened to the full album. And I was pretty excited to listen to it. I've never really known if the main consensus is that people love it or people hate it. But for me, honestly, I thought it was pretty basic. I didn't think most of the songs were bad. I thought they were all good, but they were just okay, really. They're kind of boring. There's nothing really special. But I think the really good songs are really good. Like White Iverson, I Fall Apart, Congratulations, I think are all amazing songs. But my biggest complaint for this album is that it was just basic, it was average, it was kind of boring. Nothing really stood out for me. There was nothing groundbreaking that happened. It was just kind of basic pop, rap, whatever genre this was. I don't really know. He goes through a lot of different genres, but it was just basic music that I heard. Nothing really was oh my god, this is amazing, this is it's so insanely cool and good. It was just oh, I'd listen to it again, but I'd rather listen to many of his other songs before I listen to this. So I would give Stoney a 6 out of 10.
I'm opening for Justin Bieber, dude, so if you could just let me in, bro.
Now, I have listened to Beerbongs and Bentleys before, and I remember I haven't listened to it in a long time. I listened to it for the first time, I think around when it came out, and I thought it was fine. I didn't hate it, but I didn't. Same with Stoney. I thought it was okay. Nothing new. But I re-listened to it again, and I liked it a lot more than I did the first time. I think the songs on here are much better. The hits are amazing. Stay and Better Now are probably my favorite. And all the other songs, I wouldn't even say they're average. I think they're all good. They're all great. It's a good album. It's a fun listen to. I think it does have some points where okay, this song isn't really that good. I don't want to listen to this anymore. Can it just end? Now, I'm probably just thinking of the Nicki Minaj song, and not even that whole song. It's just really her verse. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a Nicki Minaj fan. But I'd give Beerbongs and Bentleys a 7 out of 10. While I do think it's good, I don't think it's amazing. While it's definitely not my favorite, I still think it's really good.
Only you can appreciate the genius that is you. And everybody has a genius in themselves. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to die with the feelings of these people. You're going to die yourself. Right. So you just have to love who you are and do what you want to do. Whatever makes you happy, rock on.
Now, Hollywood's Bleeding is a little weird for me. I remember when I listened to it when it came out, I loved it. I loved this album around the time it came out. I loved the songs on it. But when I re-listened to it again recently, I thought it was fine. When I listened to it the first time, I'd probably give it an 8 maybe. And I realized that that's kind of too high for it. The reactions I saw of it said it was a 6. I don't know about that low, but I think it was good. I think it was fun. But the songs were basic pop music. It was just basic pop music. But I still think it's good. It's a fun vibe. I don't know. It's just woo, this is good. I like listening to this. I know Circles is on the radio every day, but it's a good song, so who cares? I also think the features on it are fine. There's a lot of features on this album, and I think it does kind of take away from it. I think Young Thug's probably the best on Goodbyes. That's one of my favorite songs off the album. It's not like Stoney where it's just kind of boring to me. It was fun, and I just liked it. I don't really know. So I would give Hollywood's Bleeding a 7 out of 10.
Can I just get a laundry basket of croutons?
Now, before I go on to the next album, I do have to say it did just come out at the time of recording. It came out 2 or 3 days ago. And so my opinion is still kind of forming. I just wanted to get my first thoughts on it. So this could change, so take it with a grain of salt. I'll be honest, I wasn't very excited for this album. Maybe that was because there was barely any promotion for it, and he really just started saying it was coming out a week before. But I do have to say I was pleasantly surprised with this album. I do think it was really good, maybe even his best, or at least one of my favorites of his. But I think the features on it are fine. I don't think they're anything special. I think either Kid Laroi or Doja Cat is the best feature on it. Gunna is also pretty good on it. but I think those are the top 2 features, even though there's not that many. I think also most of the songs are really good. I have listened to it only twice, so take this with a grain of salt, but I do enjoy most of the songs, and I think there are probably like 2 of them that I would say I didn't like or I think are bad. I do think all in all this album is really good. It's a pleasant listen to, and it's honestly pretty surprising. I wasn't expecting like so much out of it, but I do think this is probably his best album, definitely my favorite. So I'm gonna give 12 Karat Toothache an 8 out of 10. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, do all that. I do stream on Twitch, so go follow that, twitch.tv/cryptic587. And tell me what you thought about the newest album in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Have you not listened to it yet? All of that. And if you have another artist that you want me to do, please put it in the comments and I will write it down. I might do it, maybe one day. Probably I will, since I am very dry for content. But anyways, that's enough of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.